prayers after 8 in the morning. And then, of course, I tried to come up on air, but unfortunately, there was very, very serious issue as far as the equipment are concerned. A lot of things went wrong, starting from the mixer, to the Facebook Live. Everything went absolutely wrong. So I've spent like hours, here in the studio working on this whole thing, and I managed to salvage it. But of course, as you can see, it is quite late already. I mean, by this time, we usually starting to wrap up. But then I decided, let me just come up, of course, to alert our people what went wrong and what happened. The same thing also happened last week. I was here as well, trying to come up. And then, can you believe I spent the whole day here? Unfortunately, I was unable to come up because of issues, with our cabling and wiring, a lot of things. Of course, some of you who are familiar, with sound equipment will understand what I'm talking about. It is not easy to work on those things, and with the little experience we have, we use them to do some trial and errors, and at the end of the day, we always manage to salvage it. So I just decided to come up on air, of course, to alert us to know why we did not come up, when we were supposed to come up. For those of you who has been listening on community radio, you can see me coming in and going out, coming in and going out. It is because of the same problem that I'm talking about. All right, the time here is 12:22 a.m. here in Johannesburg. Of course, I believe it will be an hour difference in Biafra land. Around 11:22 in the morning, just to show you that our time has been exhausted, even though we are unable to come on air. But anyway, I want to greet you this morning. I want to say good morning to great Biafrans, wherever you are this morning, wherever you are hearing the sound of my voice. I am sweating so badly, I can tell you I am sweating because I have been walking up and down, touching this one, touching this cable, pulling this one, pulling that one. My goodness me, it hasn't been easy. But the good news is we were able to sort it out. That's what is important. And I believe by tomorrow we shouldn't have the same problem. Hopefully we shouldn't have the same problem. We had the same problem across the board. Even our Facebook Live, I tried to stream on StreamYard, but of course it came out so horrible. So I have to disengage from StreamYard and of course to go back to VMe's, the one that we normally used. Anyway, all being said and done, I want to say a warm good morning to Biafrans out there, wherever you are this morning. At least I want to talk so that you can hear my voice, because if I had just closed up and go home, you wouldn't have known what happened, or you wouldn't have known what I went through this morning trying to come up on air. I am so upset, very, very upset that I decided to close up everything and just walk away. But then tenacity is very, very important. Patience is a virtue, they say. Resilience, never give up attitude when you are doing something, even when it turns out to be difficult. Don't give up, continue pushing, and then of course you will come to the end. All right, we must continue. I don't know who is calling. But of course, this is not the time to take calls. It is not the time to take calls. But of course, we just have to continue. So let's say I just came up this morning, of course, to say a warm good morning to all of us, wherever we are, listening and hearing the sound of my voice. But of course, we need to pray. No matter how it is, whether good or bad, we need to pray. And of course, thank Elohim for today. Thank him. At least he made it possible for me to be able to salvage the situation. At least tomorrow, I can have a full broadcast, because my time is already off and I should be rounding up to get out of here before the next person takes over. But let us pray. Very, very important.
Allow me to worship Ikechukwu Biama on behalf of the entire family listening right across the length and breadth of this very planet. Umu Chineke, all of you who are ordained, all of you who are destined to perform wonders, I welcome all of you. Now, I will present you to Ikechukwu in heaven. Therefore, our Father who resideth in heavens above, looking down upon the pain and the suffering of your children, as was foretold by those who has gone before us, that a day will come when the world will gang up, when all the children of darkness will congregate to prevail against your children. That time is now. We are in pain. We are in so much suffering that man cannot begin to comprehend it. We ask for your mercy. We ask for you to come and present and provide a way where there is none. We ask you to if we came amara n'ime ndụ ụmụ gị niile ndị IPOB n'ebe niile dị iche iche ruo ebe niile ụwa sọtụrụ ka ịdị mma gị na ebere gị biko gbaso ha ụbọchị niile nke ndụ ha. Ọkwa asụsụ eluigwe. We call upon you this evening. The vultures are congregating. The saboteurs are rising up. We are beginning to identify them. And we are dealing with them. We ask you to give us the strength. We ask you for courage. We ask you for every ounce of determination and resoluteness. Make us as hard as steel, as only you can do. Baptize us in your word, in your knowledge, in your truthfulness, and in your strength. Make it impossible for our enemies to come close to us. Destroy them before they come very close. We will be tempted, of course. Our defenses will be tried without a shadow of a doubt. Sometimes there may be breaches, but in the end we prevail because that is your word and that is your promise. This evening we hold on resolutely to that very command of yours. Your own spoken word. The word that you gave to your children when you said to them that they should not worship any idol, they should not bow before any graven image. We have made mistakes in our lives. We have bowed before European idols. We have done everything but worship you in truth and honesty. But now, having realized the errors of our ways, we present ourselves before you, that you may do with us as you please. So it was prayed thousands of years ago. That same prayer will re-echo because we are nothing without you. We are nothing without you. We can have the best defenses in the whole world. We can procure the finest anti-jamming equipment available. But it is you that will defend your inheritance. You will defend Biafra. You know that we are honest and truthful people. You know that we preach this gospel in the knowledge that your children must be free in the land of the living. That they may go back and worship you in Zion as they have done thousands of years ago. This is our prayer, now and always, because we are your children. You can't abandon us to the forces of evil and darkness. That is not your will. And it can never be. That is why today, tomorrow and always, as you have called us to undertake this very monumental and epic task, as you have determined that your word must be preached in the land, that very land you gave to our ancestors thousands of years ago, so shall it be done in our lifetime. Allow us to be worthy to serve thee. Chukwu Abiama, allow us to be considered worthy to serve you. You know we speak the truth. Our enemies are liars. They are cheats and they are killers. They are bloodthirsty bastards, all of them. All of them bar none. They have brought their lies to bear upon all their dealings. Their tongue is very spiteful against those of them who are righteous before your sight. Please don't allow shame to befall your children. Don't allow shame to befall your name, because we answer your name, we bear your name. That is why today we make this very prayer in the sure knowledge that Biafra will be restored as your own kingdom upon the face of the earth. That you will be worshipped every blessed day of our lives, as our children will do, and so will their children. Until time everlasting we have prayed in your name. Ise.
Cause I'm doing this for you. And I hope it's gone. You said it's wrong. Never follow you along. Yeah. When things fall apart, I don't want to turn around. Talk about it all. You're my role model. From east to the west to the north to the south, stand by you. You're my role Cause I'm a way back then, we really migrate until you get a microphone, cause it propagates. You bring the light, yeah, for the black race. Only your voice does a make people vibrate. Enemies try hard, just penetrate. Chukwu can show them now is his gate. Let me call you the pirate.
Alright, welcome back once again. It is Radio Biafra SADEC. We are the people of the East. Ikechukwu Biama. That is who we are. There is no controversy about that, and of course it is not negotiable, just as our freedom and the restoration of Biafra is not negotiable at all. Alright, we managed to come up on the air irrespective of all the hassle that we have to face this morning. My goodness me, can you imagine? I was walking here and there, doing this and that, the things that I used to do before. Now I touch them, they are not responding, but unfortunately that's just what it is. But we had to do our best, of course, to manage to resolve the issue. Therefore, permit me once again to welcome you this morning. As short as this broadcast is, as short as it's going to be, probably it's going to be my shortest broadcast ever. But then, of course, the most important thing is to hear my voice and to know that everything is fine, because I know a lot of people probably would have been asking, where is Mazi Ikechukwu Onuoha? Where have he been? But of course, I am here alive and kicking. And the reason why you haven't been hearing from me on air all this why is because I had to do the needful. I want to join home as a Gary. So now and then, of course, I need to be in court, depending on my court date. If I have a court date, I have to be in court. And then, of course, when I'm not in court, then, of course, I have to be here fellowshipping with us as always. So this past week, it has been court, doing the needful, because that's what I do. And, of course, and that's what I need to do. And because I cherish this work that I'm doing for my people, I have it at my heart. The deepest of my heart, I have it each and every time. I am very, very available. Of course, I will do it. But then again, I am my colleague who broadcasts in the evening on Radio Biafra Hello Motherland. He is always here in the evening, and of course he's going to be here as well this evening. Alright, my name is Mazi Ikechukwu. I hail from Onuoha in Olu province, of course, of Biafra land. Let us see, what are we going to do this morning with this limited time that we have let me see if I can open up my line and take 1, 2, 3 calls. Maybe very, very important because the time is definitely not in our favor this morning. But let's do the best. Let's see the best we can do with this limited time. So if you want to call, you can call us right now. Let me open up the lines. Of course, the WhatsApp line should be on. Gee, my goodness me, everything is a bit, how do I put it, scattered up here. But yeah, what can we do? That's the name of the game. Broadcast is not a child's play, I can tell you, because when you hear some noises, when you hear some technicalities, some technical issue, of course, we need to do our best to get it sorted out. All right, so my Skype number is available. Let me see if this WhatsApp line is responding. Then, of course, if it is responding, we have like about 15 more minutes or 10 more minutes to go, before we get off air. And I think we can make use of that 15 minutes or 10 minutes, before we get off air. So if you hands on, you can give us a shout this morning. Let us talk. Let me hear your voice. Of course, I miss your voice. I can tell you, I miss my people. I miss interacting with Biafrans, and I want to do just that. Oh my goodness me, I don't think our WhatsApp line is okay. Unbelievable. What do I need to do now? That is the challenges I am talking about. That is the challenges. Unfortunately, the WhatsApp line is so down. It is so down. What can we do? Only the Skype line is open this morning. I don't know because, of course, the WhatsApp line is usually where most of the calls come through. It is where most of the calls come through. But unfortunately, if it is not going to happen, then we need to leave everything for tomorrow. Yes, we need to leave everything for tomorrow because we will be back again tomorrow very early in the morning. And I tell you what I'm going to do tomorrow. No too much talk tomorrow. I'm just going to come tomorrow morning. I open up the line straight away. And of course, don't forget our giveaways is still on. We still have money in the bank. We still have money in our purse that we need to give away to Biafrans. And I must do that because we have only given 2 people. And we have more. We have more, so much more to give away. So tomorrow, being the 11th day of February 2021, I'm gonna give out some more money. As you know, it is still our history month because we are in February. That's right, we are still in February. So tomorrow I will give out money. I think what I need to do tomorrow, I probably might double the money. Yes, I might double the giveaway money, and of course it all depends on your intelligence to get our question right. If you can give us the right answer in any question we ask tomorrow, trust me, I will double the money that I will give you. Instead of giving you maybe 1,000 recharge voucher, I might make it double. You never know. So tomorrow in the morning, we will be back again live and direct. I wanted to take a call, maybe 1 or 2 call, but unfortunately, our line is down. That's the WhatsApp line. Only the Skype line, is up this morning. All right. It is Radio Biafra SADEC. We are the people of the East. It is breakfast show like never before with Mazi, Ikechukwu, Onuoha. For those of you who have known me, for those of you who have started this journey with me all those years, will bear me witness that we have no other agenda but one agenda. And that agenda is the restoration of the kingdom of God on this planet Earth. The restoration of the kingdom of God in here. And that kingdom of God, of course, we're talking about is none other but Biafra. So that that is just the way it is, and of course that is the way we roll, and that is the way we must continue. So I'm glad at least I came up on air this morning to speak one or two words, but tomorrow we are gonna go all out, and of course I will make sure I take as many calls as possible. I will accommodate everybody tomorrow. That is what I can tell you, because here on this platform is where we worship Chukwu Kabiama, and for goodness sake, it is Radio Biafra SADEC, and of course we take our breakfast very serious like nothing else. So when you come tomorrow, please come prepared.
This is Radio Biafra SADEC. Johannesburg is where you have, and we are the people of the East.
Alright, that is correct. It is Radio Biafra SADEC. We are the people of the East, and not just only that, it is breakfast with Mazi, Ikechukwu, Onuoha, breakfast like none other. My goodness me, it is where we worship Elohim. It is where we come together as one people. This is where we all come together because we believe that we are one family, and that is what we are called, IPOB, one family, and one family of course is IPOB. Alright, I think somebody really want to talk this morning. Let us see if we can get this person talking. Caller on Skype, can you hear me? Caller on Skype, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear my brother Ikechukwu.
Good morning from here, Mazi, and welcome to the short program, very short program. Please go ahead.
Yes, my brother. My name is Michael Ikechukwu Chukwuemeka Nwajago. I am from Abuja in Orumba, Biafra land, and I want to say to you, well done, because as a student of University of Nnamdi Kanu and the Radio Biafra, we are resolute. We never give up.
Absolutely.
That is the spirit.
Absolutely.
So that's what I want to applaud this morning, to say, well done, because I remember many people don't know that we have stayed on air for 12 hours without stopping, and they refused to allow us to do anything, and we only said we must broadcast. People stay awake till 3 a.m. in the morning.
That's right.
So that is exactly what we replicated this morning, and I want to say thank you for doing that.
They were watching it.
The Fulani must leave Biafra land, whether they like it or not. They will leave it either by fire or by force.
They have no choice. They have no choice, I can tell you that.
Those ones that are in my village, Abuja, Oginoru, by Biafra land, I'm telling them to start preparing, because it's like we keep quiet. A time will come when they will not have anywhere to escape from. So the earlier the better they live. And all part of Biafra land where they are occupying, how can you go to somebody's land and occupy it? As I'm living in England here, I am paying my tax, paying my water bill, pay everything, work for my money. And then somebody will come in my village, take over my land, kill people, slaughter, destroy food, our own food. Animals that normally eat the grasses now, they're now eating yam. And now they are now eating salad. Yeah? These guys, thunder will fire them.
Unbelievable.
So I want to tell my fellow Biafrans back home to keep up, be resolute. We are here with you.
Thank you very much.
Please stop. We love you all. All hail Biafra.
All hail Biafra. Thank you very much. And for those of you who don't know, or those of you who don't understand, but first of all, let me say thank you to our brother who just called us this morning. At least I've heard a voice of one of us, and that is awesome. I love it. All right, let me just say this. Of course, we now have what do you call it? A site now that we call the University of Radio Biafra. It's a Facebook site that we have. It is called the University of Radio Biafra. Can you believe that? Because Radio Biafra is a university like none other, and that is what I always said. It is a university, Mahadum, all of them. This is where we learn things that you've never learned before, things that you've never heard before in your life. You listen, of course, under the feet and the teachings of Mazi Kano, as well as Radio Biafra, and then you learn things that you've never learned before. So it is the University of Radio Biafra and Mazi Kano, the Honorable Chancellor, is presiding. He is the Chancellor of this great university, Radio Biafra. He presides over it, and of course, in the same vein, he is the Director, Radio Biafra and Television worldwide. My goodness me. All right. We must proceed. We must continue. Of course, I need to call it a day. I know it is the most shortest broadcast ever, but of course, it is better than nothing. As half bread is better than nothing. Half bread is better than nothing. So I'm glad, of course, I did came up on air and spoke. All right. Now I'm looking through our leaders. What they call Twitter handle. I don't know, most of you who don't have a Twitter handle, trust me, you are playing. If you don't have a Twitter handle, if you don't have a Twitter account, if you don't have a Twitter account, if you call yourself a freedom fighter and you don't have a Twitter account, I mean, come on. A freedom fighter who does not have a Twitter account, freedom fighter. That one a freedom fighter. No, if you call yourself a freedom fighter, you must have a Twitter account, you must have a Facebook account, you must be on the social media, because that is one of the powerful instruments and the powerful live stream where you can speak to the whole world and let them know what you are going through and let them know what is happening in your land, of course, which is Biafra land. So I don't know how you can call yourself a freedom fighter if you don't have a Twitter handle. Trust me, you must have a Twitter handle. Otherwise, we will classify you as only Iberiberism. That's right. All right. Now, I'm looking at this Twitter of our leader. There's a man called John Campbell. John Campbell made a tweet here and he said, in the former Biafra, the establishment of the Eastern Security Network seems to reflect both residual support for Igbo separatism and a broader breakdown in security across Nigeria. Then our leader responded to him and said, I agree with you at John Campbell, but it is beyond Igbo separatism. It is actually hashtag Biafra restoration, which includes the likes of Efik, Igodomi Godos, Ibibio, Idoma, Ijo, and so on. Alright, so don't get it twisted. Biafra is not all about Igbo. Biafra is inclusive. Very, very inclusive to the extent that it accommodates all those who are of, Biafran blood. Of course, we know all of us are Igbos, But when they hear the name Igbo, Arabawaha, so let's just put it aside for now, and of course use the word Biafra so that Ndara will get themselves together. All right. It is 12:49. It is almost time up. It is almost time up. All right. I'm still looking at our leader's Twitter account, and I'm seeing a lot of tweet that he made. I think it should be yesterday. He said, don't be shy to call yourself a Biafran or Oduduwa. That's your identity from the beginning of time. Be proud of it. That's who you were before some British mistress artificially named you Nigeria, Nigeria, Zoo, Obodoma, Anomana, Kahomutirinka. A demeaning misnomer. My goodness, Mima, Uyenduna Subeke. So I'm not going out there. Sometimes I try to be very careful because that man all right, he said you shouldn't be ashamed to call yourself a Biafra. Most of you go out there, they ask you, where are you from? Before you know it, you open your mouth and you start saying you're a Nigerian. That is a shame. You should be able to tell them who you are. You should be able to stand your ground and tell them, look them in the face and tell them, I am a Biafran. My goodness me. And you shouldn't also be afraid or ashamed to call yourself Oduduwa, because that's your identity. That's the beginning. I mean, it started from the beginning of time. Nobody gave you that name, but Elohim gave you those names. Be proud of it. That's who you were before some British mistress artificially named you Nigeria. A demeaning misnomer that has brought tears and blood to your lives. All right, that's what our leader is saying in his Twitter handle. Let's see more. Our leader also tweeted and said, after killing all the Habi rulers of Hausa kingdoms, they used age-old Takia to hold them down by calling them Hausa Fulanis. Hey, Nande Fulani and the Fulani can lie. Unbelievable. Today, most Hausa people are in IDP camps, begging for their life. I beg your pardon. Very sad indeed. Hausas have really suffered. Now is the right time for them to wake up. If you are an Hausa person and you are hearing this, arise and declare your identity. Arise and declare who you are. Arise and take over what rightfully belongs to you from those vandals, from those moronic Fulanis. All right. He also wrote and said, Nigeria was doomed from the start when control of the nation was ceded to those with a medieval mindset. It created an entitlement mentality that triggered a civil war and is now threatening another. Trust me, the war shall come sooner than later unless Nigeria is divided now. This is what my leader Mazi is saying, sounding a warning to those who have ears to hear. If you think the war is over, trust me, you are hallucinating, because it is going to happen again. Alright, it is to Radio Biafra, of course, SADEC, and you are having a breakfast with Mazi, Ikechukwu, Onuoha. My goodness me.
The sun rises from the east, and the wise men came from the east. This is Radio Biafra, SADEC, Johannesburg is where you at. We are the people of the East.
Alright, we are the people of the East, and on the same vein, it is breakfast with Mazi, Ikechukwu, Onuoha. Don't get it twisted.
This is breakfast with Mazi, Ikechukwu, Onuoha, on people of the East. Join the interaction now.
Alright, join the interaction, but of course tomorrow come prepared. Tomorrow because I'm gonna come very prepared, that I can assure you of. But of course now I need to close up here and go, and I will be back again tomorrow, I promise you. And I do apologize for the problems we encountered today. It wasn't intentional, but these things happen when it comes to technicalities, when it comes, to broadcast. It is not a child's play. There's a lot that goes into it, but of course we thank Elohim that we are able to fix things. And of course tomorrow we will come out gun blazing. My goodness me, we will come back tomorrow gun blazing, I can tell you that. So prepare yourself, and as I promised, I'm gonna be giving away prizes tomorrow. I'm going to double whatever it is that I've given in the past tomorrow, just to make up for the time we have lost not being together. So get that straight and come prepared. And I'm going to ask you a question. Of course, I will ask you a question, and I will expect you to give me the correct answer. If you get it right, trust me, the prize is all yours. Don't forget, it is still History Month here on People of the East, and tomorrow we will be testing your brain and your understanding of your history as a Biafran. All right, it is time to go. It is time to go. And I want to say thank you, great Biafrans, for your patience. Of course, I know you were unable to come up on air, but tomorrow is another day and we will come out God blessing. But don't forget that here on Radio Biafra, University of Radio Biafra, a university like none other, a university being presided over by the brains, the greatest brain from the East, my goodness me, Professor Mazi, the greatest brain from the East. Here on this platform is where we worship Chukwu Kikabiama. Of course, Biafra is our religion, in case if somebody asks you. And from me, Mazi Ikechukwu Onuoha, it is goodbye, and together we shall see Biafra soon. And I mean real soon. Goodbye, and God bless Biafra.
Oh nada, land of the righteous, land of my originality. Land of the rising sun, Biafra, land of the rising sun, Biafra, my home, my fatherland. Land of the rising sun, Biafra, my home, my fatherland. We are children of the Most High, called by the name of God, the Creator. Wise men from the east, south and